Hey, welcome back to Daily Hope. I wonder, has your faith in the return of Christ, the second coming of Christ, has it grown at all during this last week or so? I hope it has. And I hope that you'll continue asking God to strengthen your faith and asking Him to help you live now in a way that you'll be so proud of how you've spent your life when Christ does return. As Paul wraps up this unique teaching about the return of Christ, he says here in 1 Thessalonians 5, "For God chose to save us, all believers in Jesus, through our Lord Jesus Christ, not to pour out His anger on us." So God's anger towards sin and evil was poured out on Jesus at the cross. That's why anyone who trusts in Jesus, you will never be an object of God's wrath or punishment for sin. And by the way, if you ask yourself, how could a loving God be wrathful? How could He punish? The answer is really found in the evils of this world. You think of what Hitler did with Nazi Germany. You think of anti-Semitism in the world today, hatred and genocide in the world today. And when you see pure evil, when you see innocent people tortured and killed, there's something in you that rises up that says justice must be served. That's really all that the wrath of God is justice. Now, you and I, we've all sinned, Romans says. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So unless we're under Christ, we will at some point face the consequences of our sin. That's the beauty of the cross. Just like Noah's wooden ark was shaped from the wood of trees and it carried him up out of the judgment of the flood, all who are in the cross of Christ, who've placed their faith in what Jesus did when He poured out His blood on that tree, we will be carried up above the judgment that will be the proper justice for a world where there is so much murder and so much mayhem. So God chose to save you, believer in Jesus, through Him, not to pour out His anger on you. Verse 10, Christ died for us, so that whether we are dead or alive, when He returns, we can live with Him forever. Verse 11, so encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing. And I would echo what Paul says here. I know so many of you from our Connection Point Church family and from our Daily Hope family, you have such a deep faith and you constantly encourage each other and build each other up. That's the heart of these daily devotionals. That's why they're called Daily Hope, is to build you up and encourage you. So let's keep living through the lens of the hope that Christ will return. He's going to make everything right. That includes everything that's broken in our bodies and in our families and in this world. He will make it all right. Let's keep investing our assets, our resources, our time, our energy, our treasure into the work of God so that we're so proud when we get to see Him saved by grace, not by our works, but we're proud with how we invested what He gave to us. I'll see you tomorrow for more Daily Hope.